I had had my fourth miscarriage. I was broken. It was difficult to have to walk through that. And I remember Lewis coming into the room and literally trying to come towards me, and I was crying. I was just completely broken down from what had happened to me again after the fourth time. And I said, no, just stay away from me.
Hey folks, this is Lewis and Ingrid with Marriage Matters. We wanted to share a quick story with you about hope. We've been married now, actually today's our 26th wedding anniversary.
26 years.
But when we first got married, it didn't seem like we would get past 26 days, let alone 26 years. And there was a lot of times in our relationship early on where we just felt like there wasn't any hope. Like we were fighting all the time, and we were just having a really hard time and trying to understand one another. And I didn't understand this woman from Venus, and you didn't understand this man from Mars. We weren't jiving, we were just clashing a lot. Ingrid's gonna share with you a really quick story about how we were able to find hope.
So we're marriage coaches, and this is what we do for a living. But I wanted to share with you that even though we have our moments, we have our times, we have our what we call breakdowns, and the tools that we teach work. And what I want to share with you is I had had my fourth miscarriage. I was broken. It was difficult to have to walk through that. And I remember Lewis coming into the room and literally trying to come towards me, and I was crying. I was just completely broken down from what had happened to me again after the fourth time. And I said, no, just stay away from me. And he said, no, you don't get to walk this road alone by yourself. And I said, just leave me alone. I'm angry. I just want to be left alone. And he gave me the gift of being present. And he held on to me and he said, you're not alone. You get to do this with me. I allowed him, and we hugged, and we walked through this really dark valley together. And the purpose of this is for us to just show you that the tools do work. Being present and being available and being vulnerable is the opportunity to break through. And I was able to walk through that dark time because he was willing to step into that pain with me.
I think one of the challenges that a lot of couples face, there's always going to be breakdowns in relationships, but the challenge is that our natural tendency is to distance ourselves from that pain. And I learned early on that it's really important to create the space in the relationship where it's safe to be able to be with one another through that pain, especially if I'm the perpetrator of that pain with her, to allow for her to be able to cry on my shoulders. In this case, it was a miscarriage, but it was after years of practicing this that I learned that it's really important for me to be able to lean in with her. And when she's going through something really heavy, not to try to fix it there right away. I don't have to be Mr. Fix-It Man every single time. But what I want to do is I want to be able to create a space for her to be able to come, for me to love on her, and for her to receive that space of her being able to cry on my shoulder and have those tender moments, because sometimes that gets us into a different space of being able to heal. And that's kind of like the biggest challenge. Am I being present with her pain and giving her the place for her to still be able to cry on my shoulder, as opposed to me just trying to fix it and trying to get her out of it like this in a snap? We just wanted to share that quick story.
Part of the grieving process is being able to have that safe shoulder, and the place to have it be is your soulmate. So that safe place allowed me to start the process of getting through and grief recovery, and that was the gift that he gave me.
This is Lewis and Ingrid with Marriage Matters That Life.
And we just want to remind you, there is hope.
Yeah.